Now, I hate to say it, but in selling, that happens all too frequently. Hey there, it's time for another selling point, and today our topic is you can't push a rope. One of my favorite TV actresses is Patricia Heaton. She's the one that played the wife on Everybody Loves Raymond for 8 or 10 years. And then they did another show called The Middle where she played the wife again. She was Frankie Heck. It was the Heck family. And if you ever watched it, you know that that's very appropriate. And so let me just highlight a piece of one episode for you because it relates to what we're talking about today. But she and her son Brick, and if you've ever seen the show, you know why the kid was named Brick. And so they go out shopping for something. I can't remember what it was, but anyhow, they putzed around and ended up not buying it. And they told Frankie told the sales guy on her way out the door, she said, well, we need to go think about it. And so her and Brick go back and get in the car. They get about halfway home and Brick says, well, Mom, when are we going to go back and get that thing that you're thinking about that we looked at the store today? And Frankie looks over at him and says, Brick, you need to learn the lesson that anytime somebody says they're going to think about it means no. Now, I hate to say it, but in selling, that happens all too frequently. When we're out there calling on somebody and we don't get a first call closed, which in many cases we don't and don't even expect to in some instances, but we come up with all these lame questions for follow-up. So when can I get back with you? So when you think's going to be a better time? All of this lame stuff. So sure, I get it. I know we want to advance the sale, but most of the time, these folks are looking for ways to just wear you down rather than say no. If they're not going to buy, most people don't like to just come out and tell you no. They don't want to hurt your feelings. You're a nice guy. You're a nice lady, and they don't want that to happen. So what they'll do is they'll just wear you down and come up with one excuse after another. We're going to just wait. We're not going to do that this year. We're going to wait till next year. Or, we want to look over all our options before we just make a final decision, or, blah, 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 go on from there. So they either wear you down with those kind of excuses, or when you're trying to get back to them, you end up entering a voicemail jail or the world of text tornadoes, and are not ever really able to get them back. And so the point here is that you can't push a rope, and then at the same time, you don't want to get nibbled to death by a duck, and that's what's happening when these kind of situations go on. And so a suggestion for you to attempt is make sure you stay professional, because if you're ever going to have a chance to get this sale, you need to remain professional all the time. And so, you want to say something that is going to reduce the risk. That's really bottom line. What people and what businesses are trying to avoid is any kind of risk, or as much risk as possible. And so say something along the lines of, well, look, would you just agree with me then that the solution that I've presented to you will solve the issues and correct the problems that we've been talking about? And if they come back and answer the question of, I really liked what you had to say and it all makes sense, then just ask that simple question, well, if not now, when? And don't say that with your grumpy face on, but as a question, stay calm, and then see what they have to say. And if you get mealy-mouthed more excuses, then you probably want to take the step forward of make the words come out of their mouth that they're not going to do business with you. But by simply saying something like, look, if you don't intend to do business with me and my company, it's okay. Just take them off the hook. It's okay. Just tell me, and I won't mess around and bother you any longer. It's all right. And if they then come around and say, well, yeah, and they start picking their fingernails and looking at their shoes, then you know that they're not going to play. And so, on the other hand, if they were to say, no, don't misunderstand. We really liked what you had to say. We agree that it's a good solution, and we just got a financial hang up here for just a little while. This was going to be more money to solve this than what we thought. But my grandmother passed away back earlier this year, and I'm in her will, and the attorney talked to me the other day and said within the next 30, 45 days, I'm going to have a check coming, and it would be enough to take care of this. And so that's my intention, and that's what we want to do. So yes, we definitely want to do business. So that's the bright side of this whole situation. And so one way or the other, don't get nibbled to death by a duck, but at the same time realize that you can't push a rope. Now, if that selling point was helpful to you, when you get your copy of Sell Is Not a Four-Letter Word, or if you've already got a copy of it, starting over on page 170 is where I begin to write and talk about these kind of situations of getting stalls and put-offs and objections and fluff and all these kind of things. And there's a good 20-plus pages about that topic, which is prevalent for all of us. We all have to fight through those kind of situations. And so you can pick up a copy at RobinsonTrainingSolutions.com, and we'll get it on out to you. And so I hope you have a good selling week.